Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on this 2018 TTRS with this sweet 5-cylinder turbo. We're going to be doing a review. Technically, we're going to walk around the car and show you everything about the car. We're going to be doing an interior look, and then we're going to take this thing for a sick drive. Okay guys, so we're going to quickly just walk around the car, talk about some of the specs of the car. So as you guys can see, this car is it's 2018 TTRS, like I said. So this shares like platform, I believe, with the RS3 and the engine. And it is in Nardo Gray, this one that's a pretty popular color. These are the standard wheels, 19-inch wheels. And as you guys can see, it's got these big honking brakes. I think there's a 4-piston calipers up front, RS calipers. So this looks pretty awesome. I bet you could probably get an option to get like red calipers or something. Pretty big brakes in the back, probably bigger than my front brakes in my car. I think that's probably just 2-piston or 1-piston caliper. But yeah, like I said, you can get 20-inch 7-spoke wheels. So if you guys are interested in those, you can look up like the other wheels on the car. If you move to the rear of the car, you guys can see that it's this hatchback. This is a hatchback car. It's pretty awesome. I do like that feature. You can see the cool TTRS badge. Got this pretty cool spoiler. Adds that sporty look. Big old exhaust tips that you can, put your hand in basically. Pretty cool. Big oval tips. That's like a signature Audi RS thing. If you look at like RS6, RS4, or even R8, I think has oval tips. So pretty cool. Got this cool, I think this is aluminum or something. I don't know. It's like this polished gas cap. Pretty cool. I think it's a cool looking car. It's very small looking. It's compact. And then if you move up front, it has this big signature Audi grill. A lot of the Audis have huge grills. And it's got the black Audi badge, and then it has the big Quattro emblem and this lower front valence. I think it's a pretty good looking car. Among the Audis, I think I may like the RS3 a little bit more, like look wise. I don't know. This to me looks like a shrunken R8, which is pretty cool because the R8's like a supercar, depending on who you ask. Most people it's supercar. So we're gonna look under the hood and we'll talk about this technical specifications. Okay guys, so under the hood we have the 5-cylinder. This is a 2.5 liter 5-cylinder turbo. Makes 400 horsepower at close to 7,000 RPM, and I think it makes like 354 foot-pounds of torque in this generation. So this is the engine that's shared with the RS3. And the big thing about this power plant is, number one, well, it looks pretty sick. It's actually an RS engine. It's pretty awesome. But it's kind of one of the final like 5-cylinders on the market. I think it might just be the only 5-cylinder left or something. Well, this is a 2018, but they still currently make in the newer generation of like the RS3. They still have the 5-cylinder, and it makes like 440 horsepower or something more. Anyways, the big thing about this engine is the mod potential. These cars are huge in kind of the drag racing scene, in the sense that you can put a few $1,000s into them. Get like a tune, injectors, downpipe for the turbo. Maybe you upgrade the turbo, maybe you don't. That's more expensive. And you could be making easily upwards of 600 horsepower on these motors. I think there's a pretty famous one on like Hoonigan's, this versus that, and that's RS3 with the same engine. And that was like a built motor with billet parts and stuff, but I think that was making like 1,300 horsepower or something. So it made a lot of horsepower. And these cars are crazy fast. This one, because obviously all-wheel drive, these things hook like crazy. 3.60 to 60 in a little car like this is kind of crazy. It's 400 horsepower. I believe it does like quarter mile in like 11.9. So a little under 12-second car from the factory. It's pretty incredible. It is, just put that in perspective though, the car is like 68K, or maybe I'm mistaken, it might be 58, but it's a pretty expensive car, MSRP wise. This is 2018, so it's not that expensive anymore. The newer one I think is even a little bit more expensive, or they're like discontinuing it, the TTRS I think maybe. But yeah, it's a pretty fantastic engine under the hood. Like I said, it's turbocharged, and that's the big thing. Is a lot of people mod these. It's kind of like Audi's version of like the Beamer B58, kind of like the same parallel, very popular to be modded, and really excellent potential in the engine. And as far as like the all-wheel drive system, this is Audi Quattro system. So it's just all the time all-wheel drive, and does very good in the snow, does excellent hooking and everything. So yeah. And then we'll talk about the transmission later, but it is a 7-speed, the Audi calls it like DSG, but it's a dual clutch So it's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll hop on the inside and take a look at the interior. Okay guys, we're gonna hop on the inside here. As you guys can see, before I get in, you can see these quilted RS seats. These are super cool. This is pretty common, this kind of shape. I've seen a lot of like the RS models and they always have the RS logo. I really do love these seats. That's a cool Audi thing. This one has been used, so it's not like insanely new looking, but it looks great for even being, what, 5 years old now. Before I get on, you can see the door panel. It's got Bang & Olufsen stereo. Didn't try it out yet. Well, actually, we just listened to something and it sounded pretty good and clear. It's got cool carbon fiber option here. Nice leather armrest and then suede insert here. The door panel feels nice. This is all like kind of rubberized soft plastic, and it feels really nice. So I've been, oh, what the hell, my mic. It is small in here. I do have the Kia with me. I cannot put the seat any farther back. So yeah, that's as far as the seat goes back, and I am 6'3". My head, if I super extend, so if you were 6'4", you are going to be like a little bit cocked on your head, which is a bit of a bummer, but for 95% of people, it fit them very well. Yeah, I actually feel pretty comfortable. It is a little hard to get in and out. It has a high kind of sill because the car is pretty low to the ground. But the interior is very simple because you guys can see, if you look at the dash, you'd be like, where is the radio? Where's the screen? Well, you do everything in the dash. So that is a little bit of an adjustment to make, I think, for most people. Certainly for me, I've never had a car where I've never had a car with a screen, but like with just the infotainment in the middle. So it would be a little bit hard to get used to the infotainment. And I think I have the key. Well, I don't got to do anything with the key. Just put my foot down and we'll start it up. You guys can kind of hear the exhaust note. So you guys can see, if you hand me the phone camera, you can just, did you mute it? Yeah, we muted the radio. But you guys can see there's the dash, and I think it has like options and stuff, and there's message, like you can look at your messages. So this one's the oil change. There's your telephone, hook it up. There's the navigation, which apparently is terrible, the stock nav. I assume this thing has Android Auto, but we don't have the Bluetooth connected right now, and I'm assuming also probably Apple CarPlay. You guys can see the little trip meter there, and you guys can see the dash, or the tachometer, and the center speedo. It's very simple. I do like it a lot, to be honest. It looks great. It's clean, crisp. You guys can see the range up there, 65 miles, and little date and time thing over here. And you can like switch between the menus like this. But I don't want to mess anything up because this is not my car. So yeah, you guys can see this drive select thing, which I think you twist, or you push it, push the drive select button, and then you go like this. You push it again. Auto, dynamic, individual, comfort. We'll just go back to comfort for now. Yeah, overall it's really nice, and you guys can see there's paddle shifters on here, 7-speed dual clutch. I expect it to be very fast. I haven't driven the car yet. And you guys can see there's a temp gauge down there and your fuel gauge. So they pack a lot of information in this little space. I do like it a lot. And then actually there's these AC controls all on these knobs, which is pretty neat, I think. There's actually 5. There's one over there as well. There's one over here. This has my heated seat button, as you guys can see. So it's got heated seats. That's a nice option. Other buttons in here, there is the exhaust button. So this opens your valves. If you're just put it in sport or dynamic or whatever, it opens the valves automatically. But if you're in comfort and you want to hear the note of that 5-cylinder while you're just in comfort, you can do that. You have your defrost buttons. I do like the interior quite a bit. There's also quite a few blanks. I'm kind of surprised. I think there's like a dynamic package or something. It might have other stuff on there. Has some media controls, which is a little bit weird because it's kind of way over there, but that'd be for the passenger. And you have like this kind of sketch pad, which if I go like this, I don't know what's going on. Oh, there we go. You can twist it, change your radio like this. I'm not going to change anything because it's my car. And you have your nav buttons, radio, and your electronic parking brake, which you just push up and down. There's a cup holder right there. There's my mic, and then you can put the key right there. It's a pretty nice spot. You guys can see there is a cup holder in there, and I think there's a 12-volt outlet. You guys can see that cigarette lighter down there. Pretty deep. Not really deep, but it's pretty small. And then there is back seats, which we will show you the trunk next. and they fold down, but they're basically useless. So I do like the interior quite a bit. Once you're in it, it's a little hard to get in and out, but that's about it. So I'm gonna turn it off real quick, and then always there's electronic mirror controls over here and everything. And the windows, they do like do that thing where they like slightly go down and up when you open the door and like close the door. So it's pretty nice luxury car feature. Nice RS steering wheel, flat bottomed, Alcantara, suede, whatever you want to call it. Pretty cool. Okay guys, so the trunk, it's like a little popper. You guys can see, you just put your hand in there, push. It's got the backup camera. We didn't show, but it does have a backup camera. And as you guys can see, there's some floor mats in here that I'll throw them back here. But you guys can see the trunk is actually pretty decently sized. There is the battery. There is your tools. Looks like he's got some locking lug nuts and stuff. So yeah, it's a good trunk setup, I think, for a car this size. Obviously, you don't have super usable back seats, but as you guys can see, you just click this forward. There we go. A little bit forceful. I didn't want to break it or anything. Oh yeah, you just gotta like push on it more. There you go. So you guys can see once it's down, if we move this just briefly, you guys can see it's pretty long in there. So you could well, obviously you could put golf clubs in this thing for sure. Probably couldn't really put skis or anything, but it does have the parcel shelf here to like kind of block, because it has this one right here. So yeah, it's pretty good trunk space for a car this size, but obviously you're sacrificing the rear seats or whatever. But I do obviously like the hatch. It's really nice. You can't really get anything big and square in here because the hatch comes down low. But yeah, good trunk space. Okay guys, so we are in comfort here. We're just moving. The ride, I can tell you right now, just going very slow, it's definitely sporty. I can tell the car is a little bump prone. We're gonna take a ride out of here, and I'm gonna throw this in dynamic. I'm not gonna like go crazy or anything. This is not my car.
I think you might have to like.
No, it's in dynamic.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That was literally like 35 over here, pretty fast. Where will I turn around? We could just go around the block or something, or yeah, we'll just turn around somewhere. Actually, ride's pretty good. Quiet in here, pretty quiet. I expect it. It's a Audi, it's a luxury car. I do like it so far. Definitely a little bit of a rougher ride than my like Volvo, which obviously that's super obvious, but not harsh at all. This road isn't perfect, but if you're looking for something really comfy, I would say like go for, I don't know, something less sporty. If you just, maybe probably Mustang's probably more comfortable or something like that, if you want just like performance or whatever. And talking about price in comparison, I think you can probably get, I know you can probably get like a Supra for this. You can, the same price, similar price. You could also get, you can kind of hear it on that downshift. Pretty cool. Ooh, this thing's kind of gnarly. And you can get a Mustang. You could find yourself an RS3. It's a little herky jerky on the gearbox, especially low speed, just because it is a dual clutch. Okay, we're gonna stomp on it here. Oh, it's fast. Yeah, that was not like at all full meat. That was probably like 2/3 throttle, maybe like half. It's pretty fast. Yeah, this would be a troublemaker. I'm not gonna like launch it or anything, but I can tell you right now, this thing definitely would hook like crazy because that all-wheel drive. Felt super composed there. Felt really good. Pulled. You could hear the turbo. Sounds really pretty awesome. Probably should slow down. Going way too fast. Not for the speed limit though. I'm not going over the speed limit.
Going 55 kilometers per hour.
No. But overall, like I said, there are options for this price, and what I would see the advantage of this car being is, number one, all-wheel drive, and then I'm just gonna throw it in comfort. Take it right here. Oh, it's doing the thing. Yeah. So apparently it needs this like. I'm gonna wait for these cars, but apparently, basically the radio like resets the entertainment or something. It needs to be recalibrated. So apparently that's kind of an annoying issue that it has. It's not like gonna affect the car's reliability or anything, but it is a little annoying. And that was like 3/4 throttle. That wasn't still even full, and this thing throws you back in your seat. So we're just gonna cruise here back. We're just kind of going around the block, a few miles here. Yeah, ride's good. But like I said, sorry getting distracted, but talking about the other cars, kind of like Supra, you could get a last gen M2, like similar year as this one, because this is not a brand new car. And you could get yourself, like I said, a Mustang, Camaro would be an option, Supra. There are options in this price range, and they're all typically rear-wheel drive, and they do offer manual. You cannot get a manual in this. So I'd say if you want a more raw car that's going to be like manual, obviously the American cars, they're domestically or naturally aspirated with V8s and stuff, so there are different options, but I would say this is super unique. The power plant, I think that's kind of the star of the show with this car, is this power plant is awesome. I've never driven a car this fast, but I can tell you right now that it feels very, very fast to someone who's just kind of driven normal cars, and feels fantastic. And then also the gearbox, it certainly feels very quick, because you're getting a dual clutch, whereas like if you got the Supra, I guess you could probably swing that within a similar price range, and you could, it's just a ZF 8-speed and then the new manual, but that's going to be super priced out because it's brand new. And then something like an M2, I would say, would be a really good competitor with this. As far as, performance, I read, also you could probably get a Corvette, like a C7 now, similar price, maybe a little bit more expensive, but you're also talking about another jump in performance, to be honest. And those Corvettes and like typically the M2, I think it can all pull like 1.1 Gs on a skid pad, where this can pull like 1 G, which is still very fantastic and it's impressive, but those cars do outbrake and outcorner this car a little bit just because of the way the transverse engine up front, it's different weight distribution, and the whole all-wheel drive system, whereas you have a little bit more dynamic rear-wheel drive. But for something that just driving around, and you could easily carve up a back road, I can tell you right now. The steering is really light. It's very powered assist, which is good, and it's pretty fun. As far as like sharp feeling in the corner, just going around a corner, it feels direct and everything. I'm not gonna like hammer this around some sweeper or anything. We're just going light to light basically here. But I would say you'd probably sit in an M2 or Corvette and be like, oh, this is certainly more dynamic, like sharp raw sports car feeling, but nothing is going to feel like this in a straight line, in the sense the way it hooks. And that's why I was talking about this thing's super big in drag racing, super popular. People mod these up and take them like Texas 2K and like demolish people. So if you love a stonking fast car with literally year-round drivability because of the all-wheel drive, and also I think that the look is something that a lot of people would probably like, this kind of like little mini supercar look, like almost looks like it's kind of mid-engined with the way the body's shaped and everything. It's great, and I can't really vouch for any of those other cars actually driving them, but based on what I've read and seen and stuff, well, suspension is a little jarring. And we're in comfort mode, but it's definitely not like unbearable in any way. I didn't read up on the fuel mileage, but I'm guessing not fantastic. Oh, I think it was like 25 highway or something, 20. So not like gonna kill your budget, because it is a 5-cylinder, and when you're not in it, when you keep your foot out of it, it's not making a ton of boost. And I think the exact boost specification makes like 19 pounds boost or something, which is pretty serious if you think about, a lot of people tune their cars with like 14 pounds boost or whatever, and they're like, eh. So this is like, it's a full-on like legit motor. And the brakes, oh yeah, the brakes are good. Brakes are pretty good. Kind of pull onto this super speedway here. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's stunking quick. Man, you can really hear the turbo pretty good. I don't know if you heard that, Cameron. Did you hear it? Kind of like that whoosh. Pretty cool blow-off sound, so I definitely like the sound more than I was saying. And that 5-cylinder is unique, so that's good. And yeah, I would say driving is fantastic. Obviously, I can't take it on a back road right now or a racetrack or anything to really put it out, but showing off the power plant has really been impressive. And yeah, so we'll just, yeah, I think that's the end of the review. And would I buy one of these? Probably, but I might buy like an M2 first, to be honest with you. That's just because I like BMWs. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and checking out this sweet car and our video. So please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we have lots of other car reviews on the channel.